If you followed my previous video on Cameroon, my country, you'll have picked up a couple of things I said I wish to do. And let me do the first thing right now and give you the first piece of advice. That's what I want to do. I always grew up in my hometown, Limbe. Let's start there if you're from Limbe and you're watching this. If you're from Yaoundé or Douala, the cities which run the economy of this country and the organogram, you would always look at the small business idea. Everyone has so many ideas, but let's just take a very basic thing. When I spoke to somebody back at home last month, they asked me, what can we do? There are no jobs. I have a degree in business management. I'm unemployed. I have gone to Yaoundé, I've dropped CVs, I have gone to this ministry, that ministry, and nobody wants to process my, as we say in French, dossier. Nobody wants to look at me, nobody cares, nobody calls me back. Now, everything is centralized towards the government. You know, we cannot do anything without hearing the government this, the government that. It's a very centralized and it's a very small economy. That's why we have everything centralized. We need to know who's the minister of this, who's the minister of that. But let's try to look at the economy. Let's try to look at economic activities. Let's try to be the center of focus. If you are a center of focus in your community and you are an economic hub, then you don't need to know who the minister of this is, who the minister of that is. Let the people look at you. Let the economy centralize itself towards you and not towards a politician. If you want to deliver letters, a couple of bus agencies and transport agencies like the Musango, the Guarantee Express, the Touristic Express, will help people move mails, parcels, and certain other cargoes. Each city, there is always the bus hub where you offload these things, you sign in for the package you're delivering, and the person who's the recipient signs it out on a registrar. Now, if you could bridge the gap of transport to a person who's supposed to either deliver or receive a passage, then you've created a whole economic opportunity for yourself. So the person asked me how, and I said, look here, when I sit down every time in Yaoundé, there is so much traffic in this town. Everyone has a vehicle. The roads are very small. They're getting bigger, but not at the pace at which the vehicles influx is from the overseas destination, overseas ports. But we cannot easily navigate in Yaoundé, and I'm sure you understand this. It's very congested, it's very saturated, and you can't just move around when you want to. You might be stuck in traffic for hours trying to get to the nearest bus station of any of these agencies. And sometimes you love to do what you want to do timelessly. Now that creates room for a service delivery, and that's in the sector of logistics. I asked this person here, if you drive a big car, you feel good about it, but if you want to move around, you can't move faster. But if you've got a bike, you might be able to navigate your way. Like, I've crossed town faster with the bike. And even in small towns like Limbe, or in the very big towns like Douala, the bikes are very common. Now the bike man gets a little proportion of money in the form of his fee. He charges you. Well, we don't know if they make profits because we've not sat down with a bike person to see if his financials are booked up. I mean, you have no idea of how to write it down, every single penny you collect from people. You might not see the need to balance it up and look at how much fuel you put in and how many people you've picked a day. But someone who keeps the statistics, which is very rare, will be able to know if having a bike makes money. But the bikes could become a source of relief in such logistic services. I know a handful of people who would not like to just go every time to the bus station to fetch this parcel. And if you could go around your neighborhoods where you are right now, even after listening to this video, and do a survey among frequent travelers and those who frequently post letters or assets between different regions, or anybody around you. Just do the survey. Let's make it simple and ask them if they find it convenient to deliver a parcel. Only inside Yaoundé, you will see that it's very difficult. It's good to be able to move, but you need to move faster and you need to move efficiently. Why not bridge this gap for those people? Where I am, I'll use my example because I know Limbe. I've been to Boya, I know Boya. There's a mile 17 bus station there. And if you're from Limbe or Boya, you're listening to this, you could pick this up. Try it. It might work for you and you could make a lot of money. You might live to share your testimonies with people. Please always share what you earn because it inspires people to do what I suggest. Become an entrepreneur. And after having this conversation with this person, he reflected on this and he came back to me for a detailed chat. And I said, the bus stations in Limbe are in a place called Mile 4. Let's use this example. And in order for somebody in the city of Limbe to get to Mile 4, you need to take a taxi. Now there are risks, there is a cost, and well, the rewards might even up. Had you had somebody who could actually go all the way to that bus station, receive this parcel for you, or liaise with a bike person or a vehicle, if it's mobile, because traffic, remember I said traffic in the metropoles is alarming and skyrocketing, and take this parcel to the destination at a fee. You could attract a fee of 150 Rand. Now that covers the cost of the person who has to move with his own transport means, by public or private, to the bus station to sign up for this package and move it back. You could provide certain assurances. You could work with people you know and offer personal services to the citizens around you. That already improves logistics and support services for certain aspects like postage. That's a postage service. You don't need the government to tell you that. You don't need the minister to come and tell you this. You don't need any authorization. You need to walk up to somebody, walk up to people with a survey, put down your plan, and ask them, sir, would you like these parcels if you receive this? Even if it's commodities like plantains or what. There is a tricycle system I've seen. It's called the keke bike. It's very common in Nigeria and it's making its way into our markets. Now, even the bikes have a little bit compartment at the back where you can load these things. Have you tried this? Has it worked? And have you made an income? Then share it with us. This is just an example of so many hundreds of thousands of ideas which can create economic activity. And by the time you serve 20 people in a day, just look at that. That's a part-time activity that takes just an hour maximum, but you could pocket up to 2,000 Rand. Sorry, 2,000 francs CFA. That's not the Rand. We're talking of Cameroon. We're talking of the franc CFA. So you have to really look at what goes in hand with the environment in which you are and try to see what to do. In Yaoundé, it's very good. People, in as much as they might not want to spend because they feel they're close to the bus station, they would still be tempted to spend because you solve the traffic problem. You liaise with a bike person who takes this parcel from the bus station, signs it, assurances he's going to deliver it. You have to try with the first consignment, and you have to try again and again over a number of people to establish a level of confidence in yourself and a network with people who will rely on your services. Personal services are more valuable and worth gold, because if I trust you enough with a personal service, then I can actually deliver an electronic through you. You can deliver more expensive gadgets through you, and certain jewelries and other luxurious items can be delivered through personal services with personal guarantees and tight conformity to certain procedures. This is just an example of many economic advices I have, I can share with you. I'd like you to stick around my company, Kebbis Wealth, and communicate with me so that we can do great things together. By the time everybody knows you to facilitate such delivery, they don't need to know whether the Minister of Transport is this, or the President is this or that. Everything you've known from the time you were young and child, like myself, is all about politics, the politicians. And they said, yes, this doesn't need a mayor to authorize you to do that. That's a personal service. And you charge a fee. With banking and certain regulations, you can't stock money in your house. By the time you become formal, then you have to bank. And when the bank picks up volumes of transactions that are material, then do you go in for tax compliance issues? Then would you open up a company and start? There is so many of these ideas I have. There's so much I'd love to share with you. Time is not on our side. Time is not on your side. And the economy is not going to wait for you. If we don't do these things to survive as young people, then we'll face the consequences of a second devaluation. And that's why I'm asking you to stick around Kebbis Wealth. Go to my website, Kebbis Wealth on Google site. Write to me, talk to me, tell me you've seen this video, tell me you've been thinking about this idea, and let us work on this. Let's develop this plan. Let's every city have a logistic service that can work for everybody in the inner cities. Is mobility, it will not decongest traffic where people are always on the move. But the quicker services that we can offer will be premium. And why not bridge these gaps? Sign agreements with these transport agencies and pick up this job. It's not difficult. Let's do it for ourselves because we can be self-employed. Trust me. Thank you.